Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. This is Jen.
Hello, my name's Theta.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it
It's been a really
has.
long time.
It's been over a year, I think, since our last episode.
Yeah. Well, I think over almost over two, because our prior version of this podcast, it's
Yeah,
been a while.
I think that was the last time. I think our last episode was about you in Japan or something.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's like forever ago then for
hmm
sure.
Okay, we're here to talk about the newest. Well, is it new? It's the most hype for sure, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's the newest anymore because um it's a new season
Uh-huh.
of the year, but it's definitely still pretty hype. Like I know the manga is like certain volumes of the manga is like super sold out.
Mm.
So
Dude, I had coworkers who were like trying to buy merch for this. Oh, sorry, Jujutsu
really?
Kaisen. Sorry, we didn't
Oh
even
yes,
mention the
yes, yes.
name.
That's our topic for this week.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. It had a lot of ties, or like a lot of people kept comparing it to like Naruto, especially with their sensei being like, "Oh, he's the Kakashi."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I always think it's funny, and not in like a like oh it's so like not like in a bad way, but like I always think it's funny when people like compare current shonen shows with like past shonen shows
hmm
in the sense of like oh this is like the new version of like whatever whatever. And I'm like well yeah because it's the same genre.
Yeah,
The same genre, so it's gonna follow the same structure. Like
yeah, but it's interesting that, but it's not like Naruto was the ever first ever shonen. You know, like
a
Naruto
lot of
doesn't
portions of it that was inspired by previous.
keep going.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get used to like not talking at the same time. But no, I was just saying like even like portions of Naruto was like heavily inspired by like older shonen series. So it's just that's just how things are. And I'm not saying like people who point it out are like saying it's a bad thing either, but um it's just how it is.
Yeah, they
And I
just
kind of
make
like that though, like
comparisons. Yeah,
the I can't think of the word. Is it like not the reference, but something more like a better term
comparisons.
than that?
I
But
don't know.
like a homage to like
Is
other
it a
series.
homage? I feel like a homage
Was
is
it?
if it's like a you make an attempt to like connect to another thing, you know?
Let me. I'm literally gonna Wikipedia
You're oh my god.
the definition of homage.
Like
Just
if the like a homage is like you know the Akira series, that scene with
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bike?
Too much.
Yeah, the scene
Yeah,
with the bike, that's a
it's too
homage.
strong. Yeah, yeah. The homage. Okay, reference is too weak of a word, but homage is too strong of a word. So
Yeah.
whatever word is in between those two, what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Will it follow its hype through the I haven't I stopped at episode 10 when I was watching it with you.
well, I I'm up to date with the anime. I'm not up to date with the manga, but I am further along in the manga than what was shown in the anime. So,
Mm.
um, okay, honestly speaking, and this is just up until the point that I'm reading. I'm like 50 chapters behind. I'm not even close to being up to date.
Yeah.
But just personally, I almost like, and this is again just to reiterate, like just until the point that I'm at
You
in the
bet.
manga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I almost like the anime more than the manga, and just like on a, it's more of like a personal note, like
Mm.
the pacing for the anime, I feel is like I don't want to say better. This is me just being really technical with my
Really?
words, but like
Uh,
I feel like the anime pacing is a little better than the manga in the sense of not like oh like one's faster and one's slower and faster is better or slower is better. It's not like that. Like I know like that what I'm saying is um what people also say with like Black Clover. Like the pacing in Black Clover anime is like absolute
mm.
trash, but the
Uh,
pacing in the manga for Black Clover is so much better. Like honestly, I I know I'm never talking about Jujutsu, but I'm gonna kind of bring up Black Clover just as like a reference. But like when I first watched Black Clover, like I tried to get through the first like 10 episodes, and that was the most painful 10 episodes I've ever gone through.
oh my
Just
god.
because of the pacing. Like the story was fine. It wasn't amazing. It was like any other shonen. I mean, but that's what I like. I like shonen. But like it wasn't amazing. But like, oh, the pacing like killed me. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me try the manga. The manga, wow, I blew through 100 chapters. Like it was nothing because it was so good for
Mm.
me personally. But I almost feel the opposite with Jujutsu Kaisen And the reason why I say almost is because like the pacing isn't so like drastically different in like speed between the manga and the anime like Black Clover, but there's just certain portions of the manga where, and I'll try not to be spoilery, but like maybe it'll be spoilery for some people, but I'm not gonna mention like specific plot points, but like there's definitely certain like scenes slash like panels where like I'll read through and then I'll go back a couple pages and then read through it again because I'm like, am I missing something? Like, is there like a page missing or like what's going on? I feel like one moment we're doing like A, but then like literally half a page later we're doing B, and I'm like, huh? Like, and that happens like a few times.
That's
from up to the point where I'm reading.
It's interesting you say that because I had that feeling, but only for the anime. But because I have no reference point to compare it to because I haven't read the manga. Because when I was watching the anime with you, I was like, they're just skipping from one location to the other and like skipping from another thing that's happening to another thing that's happening. Like I couldn't even like emotionally connect to the characters. Like there was one point where one of the characters is like in peril in the beginning like beginning episodes, and I was like, and do I care? No. I've seen him for like 2 episodes. I do not care. And then suddenly I'm supposed to believe that these 3 or like their team is supposed to be like connected or bonded or like care for each other. Like you guys just met. Like I don't understand how what? Like okay, could I care less? Like no, not really.
They some pretty traumatic slash like bonding experiences together, and that really speeds up the process.
Yeah, but like that's it. Like oh, they're just put in like a life death situation the moment they're like meet, and I'm like, what? Like I guess I care, but not really because I don't really know you. Like that's how I felt the entire time. I don't know.
Okay, so for you it's definitely more of like a character relations aspect of Jujutsu, that the pacing was a little weird.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm also like, to be fair, I'm kind of like burnt out on shonen. like the kind of like stuff that I want to see now is more like slice of life, like the wholesome, like we're all just high school kids and regular and like don't have superpowers that can break buildings and stuff. I don't know. Maybe like
I feel.
I don't know.
I think that's honestly maybe that's why like, or you haven't read the manga, so this isn't really like a full statement of sorts, but like for me it was definitely more of the plot pacing, or honestly even plot pacing. Like I can't even say it was plot pacing. It was just like the literal scene that they were in. The pacing of that, I was very like, huh, while reading it, but I don't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, if you guys are gonna hear that a lot, just like, oh no, you go. No, you go. But I have like my opinion from what I've read so far, but I don't want to like solidify it until I finished it, because I also know like people's like storytelling methods can like develop and change at different portions of the story, like just like their art styles can. So maybe like 50 chapters from now I'll be like, oh yeah, it's like it flows much better now or something.
What's your just for the anime itself, since it has like a direct end for season 1, how would you rate it?
The anime itself, I would give it a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It's definitely not the most like the best thing I've seen or the most compelling.
Yeah. Do you think it lived up to its hype?
For its hype? Okay. I don't know if it necessarily lived up to the hype, but at the same, like on one hand, I don't know if it necessarily lived up to the amount of hype that people give it. But the other hand, like I completely understand where the hype comes from.
Wait, where does it come from? I don't understand why it was so hyped. It was like the one thing people were talking about this season. It was like, oh my god, Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, what? Where did you come from?
I'm gonna say stuff and you're gonna be like, what? Like, no, it's not. But I'm like, this is like the general crowd opinion. But like, if I were to like break it down, but still keep it like broad, it's like the opening and closing music, fire. The animation, honestly, pretty good. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
it was
like
pretty good.
it's perfect, but like for what it is, it's pretty good, very fluid. And then um, outside of like the technical aspects, the characters are like they're distinct. I don't want to say four shonen characters, but they're distinct within the group that they are in, like within the
Mm.
anime. And if I want to just hurry up and get to the point, then there's a lot of like characters that people find attractive. So there's also that.
Mm.
And like in terms of like hyped anime, like you have good music, good animation, um, seductively attractive
Attractive.
characters. Yeah, like
My
physically and
husbando.
yeah, stuff like that. Like both like in appearances, like both aesthetically attractive and both like and also in personality attractive or like character type attractive.
Mm.
Then it's like everything's checked off. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a popular anime, you know. And I think that's why like a lot of shonen anime tend to be like the most hyped anime in whatever season that they're in.
Yeah.
Because like they check off certain boxes. I mean, of course, there's also the more like sentimental, more like thought-provoking anime that people are like, oh, this is like so underrated, and like no one's really into it. I'm like, no, not people are into it. They're just not as vocal about it. You know?
As compared to shonen,
like,
yeah.
How can you tell when? Yeah, like how can you tell when an anime is hype when you see how the audience reacts and
Yeah.
how to, and especially or like not especially specifically for anime, what's really an audience reaction? It's like when people create stuff based off of it. So like fan art, cosplay. I'm not as into this community, but like if there's like AMVs made of it, I think the more like modern day, as if like 10 years ago isn't also considered modern day. I feel like the modern day version of like AMVs is like people make a lot of TikToks about it, you know? Like those are all signs of like an anime being really popular, really hype. People are really into it. So it's
I guess it just hit.
like it makes. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes sense.
Yeah, it hits all the spots.
Yeah.
Well,
And like I know it also sounds a little biased because I'm also one of the people who like enjoyed the anime. But again, like I'm not like in a arrogant like, oh, I'm so self-aware. But like I've been into I've been into anime for a long time to be self-aware enough to know that like, is this the best? Is this like the best?
best? Yeah, no.
Maybe not. I'm not, but it's still really
Really good, yeah.
But like, is it like the best like cream of the crop, like 10 out of like literal like gold standard 10 out of 10 is that kind of anime? Like, honestly, maybe not.
Do you think people will care less in the next seasons for Jujutsu Kaisen?
For Jujutsu Kaisen,
as they did this past season? Because you're a little bit you have read a little bit more of the manga than you have than the
little bit,
anime has covered. So
all I can say, and by all I can say, I mean like I'm sure other listeners who have also like read a little bit of the manga ahead, I think people are gonna be really hyped for the next season purely because of a handful of characters that are going to be introduced. Like literally not literally that's not grammatically correct, but very, very soon after the second season begins, there'll be an introduction to some characters that will definitely bring in a lot of viewers.
All right. Is that a way to close it off?
Very big,
You got
but like I also don't want people to get mad over like whatever little spoiler that they get spoiled.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Do you have any closing thoughts on this anime, manga?
On Jujutsu? I'm not like super emotionally invested in it, but I am excited for the next season. That's basically it. Like it's not like Hunter x Hunter to me. So I'm like, oh yeah, it was a lot of fun, so I'm gonna watch the next season. It's not like I have a timeline clock, whatever, or timer clock until the next season comes out on my laptop at all times or something like that. It's not to that extent.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna take a break after after like all the shonen that I've read, I
Mm-hmm.
needed to take a break. It's too much. I couldn't even get into Demon Slayer, much less Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know.
You
But
gotta
we'll
read stuff
see.
at the same time, man.
We'll see.
Man, I have like what's it? I'm gonna like just for future reference. This is a show slash series that I'm gonna constantly bring up because this truly is number one to me. Like Hunter x Hunter.
Oh my
Like
god.
if I'm like powering through Hunter x Hunter, I'm also reading like if I'm powering through Hunter x Hunter on one in my left hand, then in my right hand I'm gonna have like Wotakoi, which is like a I don't if you guys don't know, it's like a slice of life, but not in like a high school setting, in like a company office setting.
Mm.
Super cute. It's very very lighthearted compared to certain arcs in Hunter x Hunter. So like you just gotta consume like media from different ends of the spectrum so that
Yeah.
you feel balance in your
Yeah. I don't know. I probably did this to myself. Burn out on one genre, if that's even possible, but I think that's it for me for Jujutsu Kaisen. I've managed 10 episodes. Maybe in the future I will manage more, but I am good. But any closing thoughts?
um
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm thinking
No, I know. I cut out on, like, we just talked over each other, so you go.
oh okay closing thoughts. I in the end I'd still give like whatever show catches your attention a try.
Hmm.
And then if it and I know everyone's like, oh, like the 3 episode rule. I'm like, if it sucks within the first 3 minutes, then just drop it, and then maybe you can come back to it later. Then you watch another 3 minutes, and it still sucks. Then still drop it again. That's fine. Like, don't just watch whatever catches your interest. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I guess that's it for today. We'll see you in the next episode. Do you have anything to say? What's your closing?
My usual closing is like till next time, but I don't know if that sounds a little awkward.
Hmm. We'll just end it there. We'll figure that out in the future.
It's okay. It's the first podcast. It's not gonna be perfect. It'll just be fun.
All right. Bye.